Back in 2017, we got games that introduced many new ideas and exciting themes into a popular and very interest-focused genre, a new take on action role-playing, with many big games being released in that time period integrating platformer, puzzle solving, and fast decision-making. A good game to compare this to would be the Uncharted series, mixing in crazy parkour and edge-of-your-seat action, all the while keeping a rich and impactful story. One of the games I'll be focusing on today is Horizon Zero Dawn. Zero Dawn not only takes what was popular in its day, but had its own unique take on it. While keeping the game in a more natural environment, it's not a rare sight to see a dinosaur-sized evil robot roaming a meadow. Crazy graphics, an interesting story, and a special world, it's not a surprise that Horizon Zero Dawn got a sequel, Horizon Forbidden West. And while one can argue that the sequel was a major improvement over its predecessor, it wasn't able to achieve the same kind of fame. While both games definitely reached popularity, to varying degrees of course, the second one was up against a lot. So why didn't Forbidden West achieve what it could have? In this video, I hope to answer just that. Why didn't Horizon Forbidden West achieve greatness? Now of course it's not dead and it didn't flop, I'm just taking a look at why it didn't do as well as the first one. In the years following up to 2017, the action role-playing genre took a turn. Implementing new kinds of parkour and obstacles, puzzling puzzles, and fast thinking resulted in many iconic games we have today. The Batman Arkham series, the Uncharted series, and the Assassin's Creed series are all to thank for this. Jesus, a lot of series. And not only are those games popular today, with Batman being one of the highest grossing video game series of all time, Uncharted getting a movie, and Assassin's Creed being one of the more well-known games out there, but the action role-playing genre was popular before them. These games only came around and put a little twist on it. Of course, these games were out before 2017, but it was still a big year for them. Though the action role-playing genre was well known before these games, Uncharted, Batman, and Assassin's Creed definitely brought interest with them. This genre took the charts for years, starting at about 2017, and Horizon Zero Dawn only took advantage of this. Not only did they use what was popular at the time, using the interest, but they also had their own take on it. The clever mix of tech and fantasy really pushed this game up, as setting yourself apart is one of the basic needs to achieve popularity in video games. So not only did Horizon Zero Dawn get popular from the interest, but they nailed everything they needed to achieve glory, and they did it. Horizon Zero Dawn really was a popular game. Everybody was talking about it, playing it, and were interested in it. It wasn't, by any means, the new Uncharted or anything, but it still definitely achieved something. Now, it could have ended there, but the world had to carry on, I guess, and a sequel was later teased. This sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, didn't do as well as the first one, so why is this? So not only did Horizon Zero Dawn fill out everything it needed to get a following and achieve popularity, but Forbidden West did likewise. Now of course it didn't need to recreate everything, because no matter what they published, fans of the older game would play this. So what happened? The answer to this is an arguable one. There are several causes to Forbidden West not achieving the same fame as its predecessor, but I believe the biggest was the timing. See, back in 2017, when this style of games were the thing, and they had so much interest around them, anything would get players. But interest is an ever-changing flux, similar to waves in an ocean. And of course, the interest moved on. People for years have been playing that style of games, fast-thinking, parkour, puzzle-working, story, single-player RPGs, and the interest moved on over time. Now you can argue that Battle Royales was the next big thing in that time for interest, and Forbidden West's release date was February 18th, 2022. This brings us to the next big problem. A simple and not really well-known game that goes by Elden Ring. I can't believe I missed the video of not bringing Elden Ring up. I am so sorry, Godric the Grafted. I have failed ye. But I'm back, and Elden Ring is the greatest game of all time. Elden Ring wasn't simply a big game by a big company. It genuinely brought interest back to RPGs. Action RPGs, that is. And bringing interest isn't anything easily done. Elden Ring was a massive sign to everything, making clear that RPGs will always live on, no matter what. I believe that Video Game Donkey put it best in one of his videos talking about Forbidden West. Now, of course, in that video he brought up how a bunch of different parts of the game and little features and stuff like that were really annoying, like how dialogue just goes on forever and you never get anywhere with it, which I totally agree with. It is very annoying. But mainly he was talking about how the game just came off, and this is almost a direct quote, it almost came off as the same thing I've been playing for years now. And that's exactly what I've been trying to talk about. It's so well put, it's so simple, but it touches on everything I've been trying to say. When interest flows into a genre, people are interested. They genuinely are interested in it. That means they'll play it, they'd like to know more, stuff like that. They want more of it. and let that go on for a year or so without companies killing it off and bad decisions and all that, and you'll have a bunch of people talking exactly like this, how anything new that comes out outside of the time that there was interest, anything that happens after the interest starts to fade, will come off as exactly what Donkey had said. It just feels like the same thing I've been playing for years now. Now, if interest faded away, and Elden Ring brought some of that back because it was so powerful, it really was. And honestly, Elden Ring's release date in like the video game history and timeline and all that stuff, it's honestly like the Declaration of Independence. I mean, it's honestly that big. Elden Ring brought interest back into that. If that's the case, then why didn't Forbidden West pick up on some of that interest and get some players, some more players at least, out of that? The answer is they did, but Elden Ring was such a big game that only happened a couple days after Forbidden West's release date that Forbidden West never really stood a chance. So that's kind of where we are here. So what do you think? This is a very specific video compared to some of my others, as they focus more on like the death of a game. But here I'm only talking about a player count in this one. So that's basically it. Horizon Forbidden West isn't dead, it's just not as popular as its predecessor. If you have any video ideas for the future content, please feel free to let me know down below, I really need some. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and remember, life is short. Play great games. Alright. Oh my gosh. Oh, my back. Okay. While keeping the game in a more natural back into action role-playing RPGs. Oh, what the heck is that? It just feels like the same thing I've been playing for years now. In the infinitely changing sea that is interest in video games,